Hey, what's up? Hi, Lameboy here. I wanted to make a video just going over the story of When Words Meet because I just finished it a bit ago. And I gotta say that in games like this that are action RPGs, I think one of the most important things to realize is that the story is important. Now, I've been a Dark Souls player or a Soulsborne player, whatever you want to call it, for a while now, and the story isn't explicit, to say the least, right? But the discovery of the story is what compels us to play the games. Yes, the action RPG is fun because we have bragging rights, right? We have bragging rights to say that, yeah, we beat this boss with as little resources as we can muster. We use skill, but once we fight these bosses and learn why they do the things they do, it compels us to engage us. It compels us to engage with the story more than what we hoped from the beginning. And I think Where Winds Meet does a really good job of that, where it compels you to play the story because it is so intriguing. I've had a lot of fun, and some of the reveals are really big. You start to realize that these characters that you're interacting with that seem to have small little nuance parts, um, especially in the second story in Kaifeng, are actually pivotal players that help you explore the realm and give you a good idea of what you're dealing with. I don't want to get into some spoilers, but I'll definitely put it in the video to show you what you're going against. But one of the big reveals that you find out um, helps you understand the dynamics of who you're fighting for. And it gives you perspective of the people that you're fighting with. Let's use an example to explore the story. One of them that I think I should explain again is Tian Ying, right? And I used this in the last video when you're fighting Tian Ying and getting over that. Oh, and as a sidebar, I'm fighting the Wolf Maiden right now. Oof. Fuck! I thought I could dodge. I thought I could dodge. One more try. That's pretty good. She's not as hard, but my god, she's relentless. Holy hell. God damn it. Ha, why? But Tianying, when you're in Jinghe and you're hearing the stories of Miao Shan the monk from different perspectives, it starts to piece together who this person might be. And it's kind of like the gear in Soulsborne games, where you pick up and collect little gear pieces or trinkets that are around the world, and it gives you a perspective of this person. And then when you fight this individual, they don't explain anything to you. They give you a one-liner, and they give you a warning every time they beat you. But it compels you to understand this character more so that you know how devastating it is. For example, that Tian Ying was an assassin and something went wrong in his journey, so he had to adopt the perspective of Miao Shan. So now he's at a conflict because now you're fighting one of the most holiest monks, and his perspective is, I'm fighting to defend myself. Whoever is opposing me in this cave that I've hid myself in is here to finally finish the job, and I need to protect myself as best as I can. That's crazy. That's just a different perspective on what you're getting. You thought it was one thing, but no, it's something else. And it explores, the connotations of the good guy versus the bad guy. And it is super compelling because you start to see that they're really fleshed out this wuxia story where they give you the secret good guys and the neutral guys and the obvious bad guy, right? But the obvious bad guy might not be doing it for bad reasons. They're doing it for reasons that they think is good, and they're justified in doing it. Now, of course, all stories have to have a bad guy. And I think they did a really good job in pointing out who the bad person really is and giving you this breadcrumb trail for exploring what happened to your uncle, right? You find that out when Yi Dao comes into the picture and he's like, I'm going to show you the Jianghu and we're going to explore this together. And then he dies because what you assume to be the water lady, the witch, comes out of nowhere and kills him. You don't see her again. And then you follow this breadcrumb trail to Kaifeng, where you find out more of the devastating world that you're in. Everything is peaceful where you're at, but you have to realize at what cost is it peaceful, and who are these players that are fighting behind the scenes to make it that peaceful. And I just wanted to end and say that amongst all these games, I still think that Where Winds Meet has a compelling story, and it is worth the play to play the story. Now, there's two caveats to that. One is that they still time gate. I don't know why. It's an Asian game. I understand that there's time gating, but like, guys, I don't know if you ever see this video, but you gotta stop time gating this stuff. Western players are not going to be compelled to play your game if you keep time gating it. Now, I know there is a lot of content and you want us to go through it, but like, brother, man, new players that are just now playing the game shouldn't be time gated as well. They should be able to explore the story up to the new time gate. They shouldn't be time gated from the jump. That's really ridiculous. Two is that you do have to get some of the gear to fight these people. Now, that being said, you don't have to, and you can just go for glory, gets it. But for a person like me that's using the worst DPS weapon I can see in the game, which is the rope dart, you got to be really on top of your game. But once you're on there, it's a blast. So go play Where Winds Meet, explore the story. As a final comment, I just want to say that not only should you play the main story, you should also do the side stories and the Jianghu Legacy. It's not just the MSQ that applies to this story scenario and playing through the story of the Jianghu. It's everything that the game provides. The side stories, the encounters, all of these things build this world, and I just highly recommend you play it thoroughly because it's so worth your time.
大义之声，不闻百姓之声啊！
欲行大人，则舍小义；会一夜闭目者，永失泰山。
一夜闭目，是微末小民，生而无言，死亦无声。纵使是白骨如山，对大人而言，也不过青史上描写一笔。可是大人，生莫者，当真无声吗？
早跟你说了，这样不行。